Nestled among the towering peaks of the Himalayas, the Tibetan Empire was more than just a political power. It was a spiritual and cultural force that shaped the course of history in profound ways. This was an empire born of ambition, built on resilience, and transformed by the teachings of the Buddha. Picture a land of endless skies and rugged mountains, where fragmented tribes once roamed in isolation. It was here, in this breathtaking but unforgiving landscape, that a remarkable story began. Under the leadership of Songtsen Gampo in the 7th century, these tribes were united into a powerful kingdom that would come to rival some of the greatest empires of its time. But the Tibetan Empire was not defined by conquest alone. Its true strength lay in the wisdom it embraced. Buddhism, introduced from India, became the heart and soul of the civilization. The teachings of compassion, mindfulness, and enlightenment resonated deeply with the Tibetan people, weaving themselves into the very fabric of the empire. Monasteries became centers of learning and spirituality, where the pursuit of knowledge and inner peace flourished. The empire's rulers were not only warriors but also patrons of the Dharma, spreading Buddhist teachings far beyond their borders. This blending of spiritual devotion with political ambition gave Tibet a unique identity that set it apart from other kingdoms of the era. Yet, like all great empires, Tibet faced challenges that tested its resilience. Invasions, internal strife, and the shifting sands of history led to its eventual decline. But even as the empire faded, its legacy endured. The values of compassion, wisdom, and resilience continued to inspire generations. Today, Tibetan history is not just a tale of the past, it's a source of spiritual strength and cultural pride. It reminds us of the power of unity, the importance of compassion, and the enduring beauty of a civilization that found enlightenment in the skies. The story of the Tibetan Empire begins in a land of isolated valleys and scattered tribes, where survival often depended on resilience and determination. It was a rugged and fragmented world, but one man saw the potential for greatness amidst the chaos. In the 7th century, a visionary leader named Songtsen Gampo emerged, uniting these disparate communities into what would become a powerful and transformative empire. Songtsen's leadership was marked by wisdom and strategic brilliance. Through diplomacy and foresight, he forged alliances that would shape Tibet's destiny. His marriages to Princess Wencheng of the Tang dynasty in China and Princess Bai Trikuti of Nepal were far more than royal unions, they were bridges between cultures. These alliances brought not only political stability but also a wealth of knowledge, spiritual traditions, and cultural exchange that laid the foundation for Tibet's golden era. Under Songtsen's reign, the empire didn't just grow in strength, it experienced a profound awakening. Buddhism, introduced through his royal consorts, became a guiding light for the Tibetan people. It transformed the empire from a land of warriors to a civilization driven by compassion and wisdom. Monasteries were built, scriptures translated, and teachings preserved, creating a legacy that would shape Tibet's identity for centuries. The unification of Tibet was not just a political triumph, it was a spiritual and cultural renaissance. Songtsen Gampo's vision transcended borders and time, leaving behind an empire that stood as a testament to the power of unity, the depth of human connection, and the enduring strength of the Dharma. Today, his story remains an inspiring chapter in the rich tapestry of Tibetan history. The golden age of the Tibetan Empire was a time of remarkable growth and transformation, where the rugged mountain kingdom became a vast and influential force. Stretching from the heart of Central Asia to the borders of India, the empire's reach was not solely built on the strength of its armies. It was driven by a deeper force and openness to knowledge, innovation, and spiritual wisdom. At the heart of this expansion was a commitment to learning and adaptation. One of the most enduring legacies of this era was the creation of the Tibetan script, inspired by Indian Brahmi scripts. This was more than a tool for communication, it was a means to govern effectively, preserve sacred teachings, and unite a diverse empire under a shared identity. The written word became a bridge between cultures and a foundation for a thriving civilization. As the empire grew, so did its connections to the world. Trade routes brought goods, ideas, and people from distant lands, turning Tibet into a hub of culture and commerce. Alongside merchants and travelers came Buddhist scholars and texts, enriching the spiritual life of the empire. Monasteries flourished as centers of learning, where the teachings of the Buddha were translated, studied, and shared with the world. This was a time when Tibetan influence radiated across Asia, not just through power but through the values of wisdom, compassion, and understanding. The golden age of the Tibetan Empire was a testament to the strength of a civilization that sought not only to expand its borders but to elevate its people through knowledge and faith. Today, it remains a shining chapter in the history of Tibetan culture and the enduring legacy of Buddhism. A defining feature of the Tibetan Empire was its deep and evolving relationship with Buddhism. What began as a royal initiative to elevate the kingdom soon grew into a spiritual movement that would shape the very soul of Tibetan society. Buddhism was not merely a set of beliefs, it became the heart of the empire, influencing its governance, culture, and daily life. At first, the teachings of the Buddha were embraced by the royal court, with rulers like Songtsen Gampo inviting Buddhist scholars from India and Nepal to bring this wisdom to Tibet. Over time, monasteries emerged as more than places of worship, they became centers of education, governance, and moral authority. Here, spiritual leaders also trained as administrators, scholars, and advisors, blending the sacred with the practical to guide the empire. Yet, this transformation was not without its challenges. Tibet was a land with its own ancient traditions, and the indigenous Bon religion had long been a source of identity and cultural cohesion. The introduction of Buddhism sparked ideological clashes between the old ways and the new teachings. This tension, though often a source of conflict, also fueled a dynamic synthesis that enriched Tibetan culture. The coexistence of Bon and Buddhism was complex, marked by both resistance and adaptation. Over time, elements of Bon were integrated into Tibetan Buddhism, creating a unique spiritual tradition that reflected the empire's resilience and openness. This process was neither swift nor easy, but it was a testament to the transformative power of dialogue and adaptation. This spiritual dynamism became a hallmark of the Tibetan Empire. It was both a source of strength and a reminder of the complexities of cultural evolution. The empire's relationship with Buddhism not only defined its identity but also left a legacy of profound spiritual wisdom that continues to inspire the world. The decline of the Tibetan Empire in the 9th century was a poignant chapter in its history, marked by internal discord and the unraveling of a once unified state. After centuries of strength and cultural flourishing, the empire began to falter under the weight of internal strife and power struggles. The assassination of King Langdharma became a pivotal moment in this unraveling, a dramatic event that symbolized the deep fractures within Tibetan society. King Langdharma remains a controversial figure. To some, he was a ruler trying to restore balance in a kingdom divided by competing ideologies. To others, he was a persecutor of Buddhism, whose actions ignited fierce opposition. His death, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, became a flashpoint for a society already teetering on the edge of collapse. Without his leadership, fractured as it was, the fragile threads holding the empire together began to snap. As central authority crumbled, regional powers emerged to fill the void. What was once a vast and unified Tibetan state splintered into smaller, independent kingdoms. The cohesion that had propelled the empire to greatness gave way to disunity, and the vast territories it once controlled slipped away, piece by piece. This was not merely a political collapse, it was a profound cultural shift. The decline of the empire forced Tibetan society to adapt and evolve. Monasteries, which had become centers of power during the Golden Age, took on an even greater role in preserving the spiritual and cultural heritage of Tibet. In the face of fragmentation, Buddhism became a unifying thread, offering solace and continuity to a people navigating a time of great uncertainty. The fall of the Tibetan Empire was a reminder of the impermanence of all things, a core teaching of Buddhism itself. Though the political structure faded, the spiritual and cultural legacy of the empire endured, continuing to shape the identity of Tibet and its people for centuries to come. Though the Tibetan Empire may have fallen, its legacy remains a shining beacon of cultural, spiritual, and intellectual achievement. The echoes of its golden age can still be felt in the art, literature, and spiritual traditions that have transcended both time and geography. What the empire built was far more enduring than borders. It created a cultural and spiritual foundation that continues to inspire millions across the world. Tibetan Buddhism stands as one of the most profound aspects of this legacy. Born from the empire's embrace of the teachings of the Buddha, it became not just a religion but a way of life that offered wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. Today, Tibetan Buddhism reaches far beyond the Himalayan plateau, resonating with people from all walks of life who seek its timeless truths. The Tibetan script, developed during the height of the empire, remains a testament to the kingdom's commitment to knowledge and preservation. It served as a tool for governance, literature, and, most importantly, the translation and safeguarding of sacred Buddhist texts. This script became a bridge, connecting the wisdom of India to the unique cultural context of Tibet and ensuring that these teachings would endure for generations. Monasteries, too, became sanctuaries of knowledge, art, and spirituality. They were more than places of worship, they were centers of learning and creativity, where intricate thankas were painted, sacred chants echoed, and profound philosophies were studied and shared. These institutions preserved the empire's spirit, even as its political structures faded, acting as custodians of a timeless heritage. The Tibetan Empire's legacy is a bridge between the past and the present, between ancient traditions and modern spirituality. It reminds us that while empires may rise and fall, the ideas and values they nurture can transcend the boundaries of time, leaving an indelible mark on the human story. Today, this legacy lives on, a source of inspiration for a world that still looks to Tibet for wisdom and hope. The story of the Tibetan Empire holds profound relevance in our modern world, where globalization and cultural exchange define the fabric of human connection. From its remarkable rise to its eventual decline, the Tibetan Empire offers lessons that resonate far beyond the confines of history books, touching on universal themes of unity, adaptability, and cultural preservation. At its height, the Tibetan Empire demonstrated the transformative power of vision and collective purpose. What began as a fragmented land of tribes was united by the determination and wisdom of leaders like Songtsen Gampo, who understood that unity was the foundation for greatness. Through diplomacy, cultural synthesis, and a commitment to shared values, the empire became a beacon of innovation and strength. The Tibetan Empire was not just about power, it was about adaptability and openness to new ideas. Its embrace of Buddhism and the creation of the Tibetan script reflected an extraordinary willingness to learn, evolve, and integrate the best of other cultures. This adaptability allowed Tibet to flourish as a hub of trade, spirituality, and intellectual exchange, creating a legacy that endures to this day. However, the decline of the empire serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of division. Internal strife, ideological clashes, and the fragmentation of central authority led to the unraveling of what had once been a powerful and cohesive state. It's a cautionary tale that speaks to the importance of unity, whether in nations, communities, or organizations. The Tibetan Empire's story is one of contrasts: ambition and fragility, strength and impermanence. It reminds us that the greatest legacies are built not just on power but on the values that hold people together. In a world that often struggles with division, the lessons of Tibetan history offer a timeless message, that vision, unity, and a commitment to preserving what is most precious can shape a legacy that inspires for generations to come. The journey of the Tibetan Empire, from a land of scattered tribes to a spiritual and cultural lighthouse, is a powerful testament to the boundless potential of human ambition and resilience. Rising from the rugged mountains of the Himalayas, this empire was built on the ideals of unity and vision, transforming a fragmented region into a force that would leave an indelible mark on history. Though the political might of the Tibetan Empire eventually faded, its true legacy lies in what it left behind: a cultural and spiritual heritage that continues to inspire generations across the globe. The adoption of Buddhism and the creation of the Tibetan script were not merely historical milestones, they were acts of profound foresight, ensuring that the wisdom and teachings of the time would transcend borders and endure through the ages. The empire's story is not just a tale of triumphs and challenges but a source of timeless lessons. It teaches us the power of unity, how a shared vision can bind even the most fragmented societies. It shows us the importance of adaptability, the willingness to embrace new ideas and integrate them into our lives. And perhaps most importantly, it underscores the enduring strength of cultural identity, the way it weaves through history, shaping and inspiring people long after political structures crumble. Today, the legacy of the Tibetan Empire is more relevant than ever. In a world searching for meaning and connection, its values of compassion, wisdom, and resilience stand as a beacon of hope. This is not just a story of the past, it's a guide for the future, reminding us of what humanity can achieve when it is guided by purpose and united by spirit.